Welcome to Julianna.com newsletter for this week, and I would like for us to have a look at our liver. Why the liver? Because what happens is that when we're coming into spring, often people go on about, I need a really big liver detox, I need to clean myself up because we've overindulged in Christmas. We've then overindulged coming on to the back of winter. And what happens is that we've had lots going on in hot weather, then we have lots going on when we eat a lot, and our body kind of thickens up and warms up with those changes of season. And then what happens is that we start to come into spring and we automatically think, clean up, detox, move on. Now, the thing is that what happens is spiritually you'll start to detox as well. It's really interesting, but there is a definite correlation I have found in my career between people with moving out of cold weather into warm weather, and particularly from winter to spring. And what happens is that people come out from wanting to feel a little bit heavier and sluggish and tired, and they're wanting to really bounce into their spiritual development and bounce into their spiritual life come spring. So what I wanted to do is talk to you about the liver from a spiritual detox perspective. Now, the reason I say this is because your liver gives you heaps and heaps of advice and gives you heaps and heaps of information. Not only is it a cleansing or part of the cleansing system within your body along with your kidneys, but it is also a point of contact from a spiritual perspective. There are historically lots of different cultures, and the Egyptians most notable, that actually felt that if they could get in touch with their liver, they could get in touch with internal advice, because if it is part of the screening process, it actually means that it traps and holds a lot of information. Now, if your body is holding information that is both physical, emotional, and spiritual, then it makes sense that it would therefore have that information there. Now, if we're looking at it purely from a detox perspective, what I want for you to do is I want for you to start to get to know it and question it. And this is all about you getting to know your body and understanding that your organs have different parts of information, different personalities and different traits that you can literally be starting to absorb and enjoy. So what I want for you to do is, obviously we can't stick our hand in our liver. Although if you do psychic surgery, you actually could. So say for argument's sake, I'm taking for granted most of us can't do psychic surgery. So I want you to grab your hand and I want you to imagine placing it over your liver. And what we're then going to do is go through a series of questions to allow you to start to tap into it. Now, the reason I'm saying that we particularly look at this from a sluggish perspective is because the reality is that when we're really, really tired, okay, and when we're moving into new seasons, our body wants to come along for that ride. Literally, it wants to amplify its up. It wants to get better. It wants to feel healthier. And you'll find that that's the correlation between you really spiritually wanting to grow and accelerate and feel good, and your body wanting to come on that journey. So what I want for you to do is I want you to get your hand and I want you to place it around the region of your liver. And I want you to go through a few questions to help you check in and get to identify it. Now, we did something similar with the heart. We're going to still take that system of questioning for your liver. What I want for you to do is I want you to put your hand around the liver region and I want you to literally ask it, if it were to have a description to let you know how it's feeling right here, right now, what would that be? So for example, on Saturday, I was feeling really tired and I was actually feeling just sluggish and even a little bit dehydrated. So I put my hand over my liver and I actually asked it, if you were to be feeling something right now, what would that be? And straight away I heard tired, over it, hot. So then I asked my liver, which is your next lot of questions, so what do you need to be doing to feel better so you're not feeling hot and you're not feeling sluggish, you're not feeling tired, you're not feeling over it? And I heard I need water. Okay then, and truth is, I kind of drink most of my water in the form of tea or coffee. Sometimes cordial, mostly liquid in the form of ice, not just plain water. So anyway, I heard water. That's fine. So then I said, is there a particular way you'd like this water to be? And what I distinctly heard was warm water. Warm as though you would be giving it to a baby. I need to be stimulated. I need to be comfortable. So I came in and I boiled water and I allowed it to cool down. And as soon as I could put my finger in it, I know from memory and from being taught all the medical part of the medical intuitive that if I put my finger in it, it means that my organ is that temperature and I'm comfortable to have it. So therefore I can drink it. If it's hotter than my finger and it's a bit uncomfortable, I won't ingest it in my body. It's too hot. It'll raise my body temperature, not my blood, my body temperature, and actually make it uncomfortable for the organ. So I stuck my finger in, that was fine, felt good, drank it. As soon as I started drinking it, I literally heard my liver going, thank you. Thank you. And then what I found was that the more and more I drank, the more and more the haziness and the lethargy started to leave. So then what I did was I just sat down and I took a minute to literally tell my liver how much I appreciate it, how much I'm comfortable with it. And as I felt it start to relax under the attention, I then asked it, if it were to have a spiritual message, something for growth and development, what would that be? And what I heard was, slow down, relax, clear out the people, the areas that are needy, that aren't direct, aren't open, aren't transparent, Julianna. Just let it go. And it was interesting because when I heard that, I straight away was thinking of two people that had called me during the week. And you know, I would say that they're friends, but more, kind of more acquaintances. And what they did was they started to just download what had been going on and then gently, ever so gently slipped in the, I don't know if you're picking anything up while we're talking, Julianna, but if you were, what, you know, would you mind sharing that? Well, yeah, I would mind sharing it because you're talking to me as an acquaintance and a friend. You're not asking me for a reading. And I didn't think I was in the function of a reading. And I actually left and I felt a bit annoyed about it. And obviously that had trapped into me. And I understand that you're going to get annoyed. I understand things are going to happen, but it trapped in. So with getting that information from my liver about being transparent, you know, cleaning up friendships, cleaning up people, I then said to it, how should I most appropriately go about that so that I can do it in a way, in a manner that actually allows me to relax? And what I heard was, be honest and open about how you feel because they won't come back then. So what I did was I actually called these two people and I said to them that whenever you call me, it's constantly around, you know, trying to get a free reading in the sense of slipping something in. And it actually makes me feel uncomfortable. It makes me feel as though I'm being ambushed every time I call you. In which case they responded, well, we just assumed, and both the people did, we just assumed that if you had that capacity as a friend, you would share it. And I realized then and there that by my response of how I felt and their response, that it was actually naturally now going to terminate the relationship because I was not prepared to be on call all the time and they were not prepared for me to not be available for their every need. So for me, it wasn't a fair exchange, I guess, of what to me a friendship should be. So going back to my liver, I literally said to it, okay, so that's fine, I'm going to tell them. So I picked up the phone, I told them then and there, I literally called both of them and said, this is how I feel. Then I hung up. What I did was I went back to my liver and I reassured it that what I've done is I've recognized the issue. Thank you very much for helping me, liver. I've addressed the issue. Again, thank you very much. And now I will await the outcome. Is there anything else that I need from this? And what I heard was, you need to understand that there are times in your life that you slow down and times in your life you push through. And then there are times in your life where you need to be supported, Julianna, and times in your life where you're happy to raise your hand and say, I just need quiet time. So we planned on doing some stuff this weekend as well. And it was interesting because all of that fell through in a kind of funny way, but all of that did fall through. So what I ended up doing for the weekend was I literally ended up going outside and getting into my gardening, enjoying replanting, putting roses, putting everything in. And then what I did was I sat down early this morning and I literally held my liver and I said to it, if you were to feel anything, what would it feel? And it said complete. Comfortable, complete, a little bit dehydrated, but otherwise fine. And I sat there and I went, cool. That's really, really cool. And the funny thing was that I actually felt really, really calm. And I felt calm because I'd gone through the process of trying to figure out why I was frustrated. And the reality was I'd had these calls during the week, but I had not put into perspective that a call on, you know, Tuesday and then a call on Wednesday had actually affected me to the point on Saturday that it was registering for me. So I want you to get to know your liver because it holds advice, it screens advice, it and it cleans up advice for you, as a liver does with all your biochemical fluid. So ask it how it's feeling, ask it what information it has, let it know that you're going to action that information, and then once you've actioned that information, then check in if there's anything else it needs to be able to give you as a message, and then thank it for its time, thank it for its energy, and do this frequently, because the more and more you tap in around what's going on, the more and more you'll start to find that your system works. And the catch is to this as well, which I find really interesting, is that when you're out of rapport and you're feeling a little bit off, you'll find that there's a metallic acidy taste in your mouth. After I did that experience and that sensation, what happened was I got a really sweet taste in my mouth, like I've had a piece of chocolate, literally a sugary sweet taste. So your body will let you know, your liver will literally let you know via taste and feel what's going on around your psyche and your soul. So tune into it, ask it what's going on, ask it what you need, action what it tells you, and then check back in with it to see if there's anything else that you need. So I'm going to leave you now. Get your hand, put it on your liver, start the exercise, and let me know exactly what it is and how it's worked for you. So I'll catch you next week when we declutter emotionally. Bye.